Hello everyone. Hope you guys are having a great Sunday. Supposed to go live yesterday, but I forgot why I didn't go. But yeah. I guess today's live will make up for that. But a couple of things I wanted to talk about. A couple of things I wanted to go through. Um, Apparently some kind of some major news in terms of gaming came out like late last night. One of the main things I wanted to talk about. Also wanted to go through a perfect example of quote unquote tourists that enter a certain niche community. In this case, it's anime. Before we dive into that, I do want to take a look at one of my favorite artists, Mark Burnett. He released a video earlier, like a few minutes ago. Just wanted to go through that video really quick before we dive into the main topic. Um, let's play this video really quick.
When your life feels like this, it can be pretty tricky to find time to try and improve, but there's hope for you. I'm always busy, and chances are you're busy too. So how the heck do we practice art effectively to the point where we can still see progress and stay motivated? If you're younger, it should be relatively easy to, find time to draw because you likely have nothing going on in your life. Like, in a good way, I guess, like no responsibility. But as we all know, this doesn't last nearly long enough. As adults, all the responsibilities just keep piling up and end up eating up all our free time. Like, I had to adapt to this reality.
Still trying to get like my line work to this refinement. I might have to like play around with the brush tool to create some different brushes because I don't know. I use the G pen mostly in Clip Studio, but I don't know. I kind of don't like the pixelation of the line sometimes. Might have to. I think he has a brush pack. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Immediately as soon as I left the game industry working as a character artist, going from doing art all day long to now running a business with employees, an art school.
So for those of you who don't know, this is Mark Burnett. He's been working in the video game industry, Blizzard, for like over 10 years as a character designer, character artist. His art is really amazing. He left and he's just been doing YouTube and he runs his own art program online, which has about, from what I understand, I think it has like over like a confirmed number of like over 20,000 people who bought the his program and are using it. And I'm one of those people who bought the program, and the program is the equivalent to like if you go to like a art college in terms for illustration. It's the equivalent of that. So it's pretty it's worth your money in my opinion. And I would always recommend people that route if they can't afford to go to college. And it's worth it too, especially now with most of these companies, especially if you're trying to fill for some of these studios, to be like a certain like character designer or anything in illustration. At the end of the day, they want to see your portfolio. The college degree is becoming more and more useless throughout the day. So especially when it comes to art and animation, all they care about is your portfolio. If you have the work and you're capable of doing the work. So highly recommend to look into his program. Really great artist.
Cool. More on that later. Having a family with 2 young kids and running a YouTube channel where I do everything by myself. I just have very little time left to practice art. But the blueprint I'll share with you, the same I've been using, has been a game changer in the last couple of years. So if it's worked for me with my crazy schedule, there's very good chances it'll work for you too. Also, where's my fourth pen? Alright, so here's the full blueprint. It starts with a plan. If your time is limited, don't waste it figuring out what to practice. Structure is everything. You should have a clear list of things to practice in order from simple to complex, building on previous skills. The idea is to have a goal, break it into smaller achievable goals, and then keep making progress towards those. When you're short on time, it's too easy to lose track without structure. And here's just a gym analogy, like you've probably seen 2 types of people. Those with a workout plan who go from exercise to exercise without wasting time, and those wandering around uncertain what to do next, like taking selfies next to weights or just doing whatever because they're kind of lost. You can get a killer workout in under 30 minutes if you have a plan. Same for art. So don't be the wanderer wasting precious time. And of course, I hear the keyboards clicking away already, commenting that it's not that easy, like where to find that structure. Well, this is kind of my specialty, and I have a couple of...
So I understand what he's saying too. What I usually do is like if there's something that I need to understand. Like that's why, like like in this program, he kind of does it like there's certain each course has different topics that he focuses on, like color theory, anatomy. I feel like focusing on one topic at a time, getting a decent understanding of it. I'm not saying like spend like 10 hours a day doing it, but take your time, and just make sure you're practicing to a point where not you're not so much as tracing, but you're actually understanding what you're doing. And it's okay to use references. Just don't copy. Like I said, don't copy, don't trace. But yeah, I usually you look at one topic at a time before I move on to the next thing. Because I did used to do that in the past, but it's good to get an understanding of one thing at a time before you move on to the next thing.
Of videos on the channel going over different practice schedules, but one in particular I'd recommend if you're serious is my Learn to Draw in 1 Year video. I'll have a link to that down below. You can totally learn on your own, but if you need more help, you'll want to hear from the sponsor of this video, our School for Digital Artists, but more on that later. The second strategy is to master the God tier exercises. What? So practice simple drawing exercises that help you think like an artist. These are perfect when you have only like 5 to 10 minutes. These exercises help you practice form or the building blocks of art. The idea is getting good at drawing basic shapes and volumes like cubes, cylinders, spheres, and then slowly increasing the complexity of what you can do with them. Like drawing a cube, then bending it and twisting it in different ways.
And this is good to like get like some really good dynamic shots if you're trying to like draw a character in a different way. I've been practicing a lot lately with this, trying to get different angles, different poses for characters. Um, I kind of did this with my U Shield drawing. That I still need to make a video for that. But I really like how he explained this, and I really like how he's showing this on the side right here.
A lot of difficulty levels to this, like from simple to harder, and it's stuff that will help you with drawing like anything. It's kind of like cardio in a full body workout. It might sound boring for an hour session, but for a few minutes, it's the perfect exercise that builds a foundation for everything else. Now, the strategy number 3 is to remove all friction. Make it stupidly easy to start practicing. Like keep your tools ready and accessible, drawing apps open on your device, or a sketchbook and pencil in every bag that you use, maybe a small one in your back pocket as well. The moment you have to hunt for supplies, you've basically lost. Friction kills consistency, and keep that sketchbook cheap too. You won't hesitate to use it or take it to places. Don't get a fancy one that you'll feel bad drawing anything less than a masterpiece in. The cheaper, the better. Strategy number 4 is to become a specialist. So focus on very specific things that you want to get good at and practice only those. You know the saying, jack of all trades, master of none, or at least what people mean when they say that? Do not do that when your time is limited. Pick something you love, maybe character line art only, like ignoring colors, no shading, no backgrounds, and focus exclusively on that. There's so much to learn in art, but you don't need to learn everything to get good. If you had more time, of course. Instead, I would recommend building a solid foundation, going over the fundamentals of art and not skipping anything. But when time is limited, we have to adapt. So if you think of drawing a skill...
Yeah, fundamentals are always important for everything. Um, that's why I always wanted to like improve myself in my art, because you never stop improving. You learn something new every day, every time you pick up that pencil. Because there's going to be always artists like this who are using different techniques, things that you never even thought of, and try to implement it in your work. It's not just for art, it's just for anything in general, if you're trying to be a creative.
In terms of an RPG game where you have skill points to allocate to different skills, and the skill point in this case being your time, and you have very few of them, well, you'd want to max out a single skill basically and ignore the rest, rather than putting 1 point in everything and basically sucking at everything. And there's also a psychological aspect to this strategy where it's almost impossible to find motivation to continue doing something, in this case practicing art, if you're never rewarded for it, like mentally rewarding. The reward in this case being the good feeling you get when you feel like you're improving at something. It's one of the major drives behind motivation. Obviously, that won't happen if you just scratch the surface of a bunch of different art skills. But it will happen if you notice that one skill improving, because that's your sole focus. It's a classic mind trick to improve motivation. Now, the strategy number 5 is never go past 30 minutes of study. Obviously, that's great for busy people. You shouldn't study more than 30 minutes without a break anyway. Your concentration tanks after 20 to 30 minutes of focused work. I would argue even less now that everyone is addicted to doom scrolling, short form videos. And the kind of focused work I'm talking about here would be stuff like studying anatomy or color theory, like any.
Yeah, he has a point too, because phones nowadays are like really distracting. Everyone has them. So me personally, I usually just like turn it off and like put it somewhere, like, or I just put it in my room, and then I come out here and just do some drawing, work on some stuff. It's really good to get into that habit, because when your phone's next to you, you're gonna just be tempted to pick it up and just look at something on social media. And half the time, there's nothing even going on social media, but you're still there just scrolling.
Anything where you're cramming new knowledge into your brain. Drawing for fun usually doesn't count as focused work. It's creative work, right? It's like rehearsal of what you already know, so you can do as much of that as you want. But of course, you don't really learn anything new while you rehearse. But yeah, another recommendation that I would add to this one too would be to use a study method while you work. Something to help you make the best use of that precious bit of time that you have. Like, I would try a short version of the Pomodoro method, one of the most well-known spacing methods. So basically what you would want to do is to pick a task, like learning torso anatomy, for example. Then you set a 15-minute timer, work until the time is up, then you take a 5-minute break, and then you repeat that 4 times maximum before taking a much longer 30-minute break, if you want to start the cycle all over again. But probably you won't have time for that. I'm mentioning it just in case. If your time is limited, remember that focus is 2. So having time only helps if you know how to use it. And this will actually make you more productive than grinding for hours straight without a good study method. So it's something you should be doing anyways, but if you have less time, it's something you definitely want to be doing. But I get it. It can be pretty challenging to know what to focus on, in what order. Like the free study schedule I mentioned earlier as part of my YouTube video is a great start if you're resourceful and can find all the learning content on your own. It's doable for sure. But if you want a pay-to-win option, where I basically spoon-feed you everything you need to know and practice to learn to draw anything your mind can imagine, well, I highly recommend you check out my art program with the link in the video description. There's currently a huge...
So it's close to, there's 29,000 people now. Wow, that's very successful. See? Like I said, like, the best way to describe it, this is like an art school college course for like an illustration major. Like, that's like the best way to describe it, like an illustration / character designer major. And highly recommend it. And it's not even that expensive either. It's way cheaper than college, way cheaper. I think this is like under $400.
Art program with the link in the video description. There's currently a huge...
And once you buy it, you have it forever. Like, you can use this forever. Like, you can use it, let like your family members use it, friends. Really good program.
Back to school sale discount. So check down below to know exactly when the sale ends.
I think I'm still like on term 5. I'm still working my way through it, but I'm just taking my time.
So you won't miss out. You'll be joining over 29,000 other students with lifetime access to all the content, free updates and additions for life, assignments, a week-by-week study guide so you're never left wondering what to do next, and exclusive access to our school's Discord server. It's not only the most popular art program in the world, it's the best value too. Win-win. And if you're already a student, thank you. I love you. Now, strategy number 6 is to copy simple styles first. All artists learn by copying, but choose your targets wisely. If you don't have much time, there's a limit to how many lines you can physically draw. So I would recommend copying artists with simple, more cartoony styles first. If your time is limited, you'll have a hard time finishing any drawing, if it's super complex. It's way more fun to nail a simple drawing than butcher a complex one. So build confidence with easier targets, then gradually increase difficulty as you go. Like, if I were to recommend which artist to study between 2 that I recently studied myself in recent videos here on the channel, I would recommend studying the style of Kan Liu rather than the style of Gu Wei's. They're both very talented artists. But if you're short on time, Kan Liu's style is a lot faster to achieve. It's a lot simpler. To be fair, it's probably still too much if your time is limited, but hopefully you get my point. Use simpler references because they'll take you less time to copy. For practice only, of course. Copying is bad otherwise. Watch yourself. And then the last strategy number 7, is to weaponize your dead time. You have way more free time than you think. People spend on average like 3 to 4 hours daily on their phones. So you take just 25% of that and you've found an hour. Magic. And then you add time spent waiting in transit, in lines, during commercial breaks, if you have like the peasant versions of subscriptions, like Netflix with ads, it all adds up. It's to your advantage.
Damn, 3 to 4 hours? I don't really spend 3 to 4 hours on my phone if I'm being honest. The most I would use my phone is like I'll probably do a little bit scrolling like when I'm about to go to sleep. Because most of the time I'm just like on my computer or I'm just drawing. If I am on my phone, it's probably just like either upload something or check on a few things. But besides that, I'm not really like neck deep in like social media stuff. If I do see something on social media, like on Twitter or something, I usually just get like a notification. Um, but I can just see it on my computer. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not really like nose deep in like social media like other people are.
That's a perfect time to whip out that pocket sketchbook we talked about earlier. You'll be shocked at how quickly it fills up when you make use of all that dead time during the day. So if you follow these 7 strategies for just a few weeks, and they're very easy to implement, you'll see more progress in artists who draw for hours without direction. The secret isn't having more time, although for sure that helps, but it's using the time you have intelligently. So like most people, I'd say you're not too busy to improve. You just needed the right system. And so I hope this helps. All this stuff has worked wonders for me personally. And if you're looking for more god tier exercises to practice when you have just a couple of minutes, perfect exercises for artists of every level, I have a full class going over.
So this is a really good drawing of Momo. I drew this character of Momo from Dawn to Dawn. For those who don't know, for context reasons, she's actually like chasing the other main character's testicle right here. So yeah, but yeah, a really amazing artist. I when I usually try to draw stuff, I usually try to like copy some of his techniques, especially when it comes to coloring. Like he did like a few techniques here. Like I love there's like a yellow glow he added like on her clothing right here. It comes off her face a bit and on her hands. Really cool technique, and I love like the shading because I see the shading for the pieces of the fingers right here, and then he has like another layer right here of like light, and obviously the nails, like very good subtle details right here. Really amazing drawing. I love the angle he drew it into. Like it's a really amazing angle. I want to really try to draw pictures like this, um, in angles like this. But yeah, really amazing artist. This is what I'm currently working on right now. I'm doing like another redraw of from Undead Unluck. Um, got the shading down. Just now I'm just gonna work on the add some color to it. I might fix some stuff here and there, but this is the next drawing I'm working on. It's not a redraw. Um, Great video from Mark Burnett. But the next thing the main thing I want to look at is what's happening with Visa. Let's take a look at that. Where's that video? I just had it. Here it is. So Chibi reported on this the other day.
Just when we thought payment processors like Visa and MasterCard couldn't get any worse, they have officially gone mask off in their total control of the internet, gaming, anime, and everything else in between. So let's read this post by an official Visa representative. Gaming is no longer just play. It's culture, community, and commerce. Gen Z and Gen Alpha spend more time gaming than on any other media. At Visa, our mission is to uplift everyone, everywhere, by being the best way to pay and be paid. Now we're bringing that purpose into the gaming ecosystem. As Director, Global Gaming Partnerships, you'll lead the charge in building transformative collaborations with publishers, platforms, leagues, and creators, and reimagining how payments power the future of play. This role is about more than partnerships. It's about, number one, building global strategies that unlock new opportunities for players and partners alike. Number two, driving innovation where gaming and commerce collide. Number three, championing economic empowerment in one of the fastest growing cultural movements on the planet. If you're passionate about gaming, inspired by culture, and you're ready to make an impact on a global scale, we want you on our team.
So basically, let me basically summarize what this is about to happen. Visa is basically, like you said, this is their mask off right now. They're basically saying that we are going to censor gaming from the beginning, meaning in the production. This is really, really bad. This is really bad. And he's gonna show like how much this is paying, because this role, the role that that's gonna be head of this, that in terms of like, because this is a job that you can apply for. This role is paying like literally $250,000, and it's based in California. So yeah, Visa is basically going mask off, saying that they are basically going to censor gaming from within, because they believe that gaming is the biggest source of entertainment as of right now. It's been like that for the past couple of years. And like I said, the bigger something gets, the more you have these people um, who don't understand what it is, and they come in and they try to implement their ideals in it because they don't like what it represents. We've seen it happening with anime and with modern entertainment in the West. Now it's going to happen to gaming, but on the production level, meaning that's going to happen before the game even comes out. So, for example, let's say if a game comes out, that's about to come out, a rated M game, and there's like, oh, there's like certain mature content in there, Visa will basically say, we will not allow our card services to be used as payment for this game, meaning that if you have like if your card says Visa on it, you won't be able to use your card to purchase that item, even though it's legal. It's a legal transaction. So this is not good news. This is not good news at all. And again, this is taken away from creative freedom.
I think anyone that just listened to that already sees what's wrong here. First off, this is the same company that has censored Steam, has censored Itch, has censored Japanese sites, has censored a Japanese dating site. They are individuals that have been rampant with their control on the internet in just different cultures, gaming, and anime, and manga communities. They actively support Roblox, while in the same turn, they will shut down Steam from even having adult games. They are the same company that will bully other smaller companies or businesses into either threatening to debank them or force them to censor themselves, or they make no money. Visa is very shady, very sus, and in the last month and a half, they have been called out on a global scale.
And the problem with this, the reason why they're doing this is because you got to understand, Visa and MasterCard, both, like, those are literally the two main cards. Like, if your card doesn't say Visa, it says MasterCard. If it doesn't say MasterCard, it says Visa. Those are the two major card holders, not just in this state, not just in our country, but in the entire world. They have a global monopoly. Like, they're like, no one can touch them because they are like the significant card holders. And like I said, how this all started is because of Collective Shout. They contacted these companies saying, "Hey, we don't like what's being portrayed in gaming. You need to censor these properties." That's why Steam has removed all of their adult games. That's why itch.io has lost most of their games, because Visa and MasterCard saying that, oh, we're not going to let you use our cards to purchase this property. Mind you, and keep this in mind, people, they're not letting you use your Visa or MasterCard to purchase fictional content. These are, we're talking about video games or adult content. If you are an adult, you have a right to purchase adult content. They're not letting you use your cards to purchase that type of fictional content, but yet when it comes to shit on OnlyFans, you're able to do that like that. It makes no sense. It makes no freaking sense. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, they're trying to take away from creative freedom. Creative freedom is heading in a bad direction. Because look at the West. Like, entertainment here in the West is so dry and it's so bad. Like, literally, majority of like, you literally gotta like do a coin flip just to like see something here in the West, in terms of going to the movies or watch a new show on a streaming platform. That's how bad it's gotten, because they try to politicize everything and use all these TikTok social media buzzwords in every single conversation, where it just comes to the point where most of the conversation in these series or movies come off as super watered down, and just like it just hurts your ears just when you even hear them speak.
Is multiple petitions, like in the Canadian government, in Australia, in the US. I believe there's some in the UK as well. There is multiple petitions calling out Visa and MasterCard and payment processors. And it seems like with how global and widespread and mainstream this information has gotten, it seems like Visa is no longer trying to really be subtle about it. They are completely mask off and just being like, yeah, we are the baddies, we are the villains, and what are you going to do about it? You can't stop us, we're too strong, we have too much money. That's pretty much what they're saying. And so let's get into what this post actually means and why it's actually a bad thing. First off, we need to talk about this little section here, reimagining how payments power the future of play. Payments power the future of play. Reimagining. The only way to really take that is a few different ways. For one, obviously, payments in terms of like maybe microtransactions to pricings of games to potentially just making it difficult to sell certain games if you don't follow along with what Visa wants you to do. It's very clear that Visa is trying to insert itself into gaming culture. There's already evidence that payment processors have been doing this for a while. I talked about this like a week and a half ago, but as we know...
So my last stream, I played this too. Like one of the people here about that stupid Take Us North simulator game that they're making. Mind you, they've been on the Visa. I think this was a MasterCard meeting. So that just goes to show you that they are really trying to like have a grip in gaming, to try to censor it from within. Because again, I don't know what it is with these people, with these weirdos. They just do not want people to be entertained. Like they really don't.
No, back in a 2024 summit meeting at GamesBeat, we literally had someone that was trying to make this game called Take Us North, which I already talked about and so many other content creators talked about, but it was a game romanticizing and trying to encourage illegal immigration into the United States. And we had one of the people that were behind it, backing it, and speaking out for it. They were in a meeting with MasterCard. You can literally see it right here. So it's very clear that these payment processors have been trying to seek their claws and teeth into gaming for a while now, gaining control of these activist groups or these companies that are trying to push propaganda or agenda. And so this is more or less another major step for Visa to take control. And like I said, they're not even trying to be subtle anymore. The fact that we've had a bunch of different, let's say, accounts and different sites now just directly hit by Visa after everything that's happened, and it's so public now, it's like they're pretty much saying, we're too rich to really be hurt at this point. Because
I mean, not necessarily too rich. We're just like, we are the main source for payments. So that's literally what it is now. Because when you don't have another source of payment, especially when it comes to gaming, because gaming is always going to look, it's either going to be Visa, MasterCard, or PayPal. Those three, mind you, those three are literally trying to stop people from purchasing adult content, or just not even adult content, just certain games that have like certain themes, like certain like violent or horror themes in there. And it's stupid. Like it's really dumb. Because they try to hold this idea that, oh, we're trying to protect the children, or we're trying to stop certain crimes from happening, when literally, like, it's been proven, like, even when you talk to a psychologist about this, gaming is a form of a stress relief. Like, it's been proven, like, all these shooting games, games like GTA, first person shooters, third person shooters, like, it's a way to release stress. It does not reinforce these violent tendencies. It's just a way to release stress. That's why, I showed that video the other day of people, talking shit in the lobby, things like that. It's a stress reliever. That is gaming. That is what gaming is. That's the gaming culture. And that's why I keep saying that when you have these people that come into these spaces who literally don't know anything about these communities, they try to come in, they don't like what it represents, and they try to change it from within. And that's the problem. And that's what happens when Um, that's what happens when you try to cater to everyone. It's not about catering to everyone. It's just about making something that anyone can jump in and just play without being talked down to, without being preached to. It's that simple. And people forget gaming and anime. There's so many genres. If a genre is not for you, move on to a different genre. Like I don't. I'm so confused. Like this is what gets me so upset. Like there's so like gaming is so diverse already that the fact that people are trying to come in and make it, say that, oh, gaming's not diverse. Like you are not a gamer. You are not a gamer if you don't think that gaming is diverse. Like gaming is so diverse. There's so many different genres in gaming. And it's been like that for years, for decades.
Only people that could really rein them in now is honestly an antitrust lawsuit on a global scale. And
That is one. Yeah, an antitrust lawsuit could stop them. It'd have to be like a country, but another thing that could stop them too is if you have like someone who's like very wealthy creates their own payment processor that's in support for like communities like gaming and creators who want to create things, who have creative freedom. That's why I said that Elon Musk teasing that his own payment processor thing that I think it was he said like X payments a couple months ago. If you were to like someone as rich as him, if he were to come in into the space and create his own thing, then even if it doesn't if his thing doesn't come out or not, if you were to say that, then all these payment processes would reverse, would reverse and go back to how things were, because they know damn well if you were to come in, things would change. Because that's competition they do not want. I'm not saying they will go out of business, but I'm just saying that with all the bullshit that they have been doing, a lot of people would leave and move on to something else, especially if they're trying to make a living or just purchase something. Because PayPal, I don't know if people know this, but PayPal has blocked people from cashing out from because I think there's a few creators that weren't because I think one creator who made like almost who couldn't cash out like on almost like 80K off of PayPal because they said, oh, the stuff that they've been selling or are just like lewd or adult content. And it's just like, why are you doing that? We've seen what happened with Eric July. Eric July, when he launched his own comic book brand, the Riververse, PayPal withheld like literally 1.3 million dollars of people who trying to buy his comic book. And mind you, he sent proof of his LLC and the comic book of what he's actually selling, but they still held on to it. Like that shit is crazy. And the fact that and again, because there's no other companies out there, they're the only ones. Like they are the ones that people look to when it comes to certain things. They feel like they can do this because they have a monopoly on things. And that's why there needs to be alternatives for a lot of things. There needs to be an alternative for everything, in my opinion. If there's a certain thing in place, and they've been doing things for a certain way for a long time, and it's hurting a lot of people, there needs to be alternatives.
an antitrust lawsuit from countries, the government itself. And when you have a lot of these governments that are potentially in bed or in deep with some of these representatives at Visa or MasterCard, what can you really do? It makes a lot of sense why you have like Steam going belly up, for instance, just like, I'll kiss your boot, master, I'll kiss your boot and all that, and I'll shine it for you because I can't do anything about it. And that's pretty much what Steam did to payment processors. They kissed their boot. And if Steam has been forced to do something like that, then, no other small business really can fight back, at least in the gaming space.
This is probably why Call of Duty is the way it is now, because back in the day when Call of Duty was the shit, so many of these angry women and these weird groups try to come after Call of Duty, wanting that game to be canceled, saying it's violent. This is what caused so many unalivings throughout the years. Games like this, like, I'm starting to see why Call of Duty is the way it is now. Like Call of Duty, like they'll have like these warnings and saying that things depicted here is fiction. I remember when the Black Lives Matter thing happened, they put that Black Lives Matter message in before you load it up into the game, which was fucking stupid. Like I'm starting to see why Call of Duty the way it is now. I feel like they're trying to like, in a way, like they're trying to appease these groups, just so no one goes after them, and it's freaking stupid.
So what I'm trying to say here is that Visa has really just shown its true colors. It's been obvious for a while. Let's be honest. I've been covering this topic for years at this point, but this one really just blows me away. So I want to talk about what they're saying here in follow-up posts. So first off, this post was directly listed by Visa on their LinkedIn account.
So I believe this is gonna be like the director of the global gaming partnerships, like what they're talking about. Look how much they're paying. Look how much they're paying for this role. So over 100 people filled out for this. Like, look at that. Basically paying $250,000 to censor games from the production standpoint, and it looks like it's gonna be. I don't think this will affect games worldwide. This is probably going to affect Western gaming, especially since it's in California. Most of these Western companies are in California. So, yeah.
On the LinkedIn site. For those that don't know, it's like an official site, to list your overall resume, what you've done over the years and stuff like that. It's a lot of big wigs and big officials and stuff list their stuff on there. And this is a direct listing for a job opportunity by Visa, which is called the Director of Global Gaming Partnerships, which was posted, as you can see, when the screenshot was taken 20 hours ago, and the location would be in San Francisco, California. Go figure. But one of the big things that really is getting a lot of people's attention is the overall pay. I want to point out that the payment of this position is literally pretty much up to $250,000 per year, which is just, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, the amount of money that these people are making by controlling everything higher up, just, it's actually insane. But even if we disregard that, we go into the next stuff, this is what the job description is, what they say literally on LinkedIn, which follows up with what that official representative Visa was saying. The global video game industry is experiencing explosive growth and has become a dominant force in entertainment, culture, and commerce, driven by the deep engagement of Gen Z and Gen Alpha, who spend more time gaming than any other media. These digital native generations see gaming not just as play, but as a social connection, creative expression, and identity. As a result, brands that want to reach and remain relevant with these highly influential audiences must authentically engage with gaming ecosystems. From esports sponsorships to in-game activations and creator partnerships, gaming offers brands unparalleled opportunities to build cultural relevance and long-term loyalty. It's actually insane just how
Like, this is stupid. Like, shouldn't you as a payment processor should try to be helping, companies, especially like new companies or like companies that are starting to get big, to help them like become a part of their payment processing? Like, shouldn't you be doing that instead of taking away from companies? Like, instead of you doing that, they're literally taking away. Think about it. Like, they're taking away their processor from like Steam, from certain games. Like, why? Like, I just don't understand why they have so much power and why they're allowed to have this much power.
Mask off this stuff is. Like, they pretty much admit that, yeah, gaming is a space where a lot of money can be made. They want a piece of that pie. They want to sink their teeth into it. They want to...
And that's exactly what I said. Gaming, like I said, gaming is the most profitable source of entertainment as of right now for the past couple of years. And when something gains a lot of money like that, a lot of people starts to have their eyes on it, whether it's good or bad. Some of these people try to, and most of it's bad because some of these people obviously try to come in and try to make changes. And literally, that's literally what they do. They come in, they make changes, they make it worse than what it was, they make it bad, and then they move on to the next thing that's popular. I'm telling you, man, these people like this, they're coming after gaming and anime. Those are the two things that are the most profitable, like that are making a lot of money in the past couple of years. Those are the two main things that has become mainstream ever since we ever since the 2020s. Gaming and anime has become so popular in the 2020s that a lot of these weirdos, a lot of these companies have their own opinions and they're trying to change it from within because they think it does not serve the quote unquote minority groups, or it's hurting these groups. So we have to censor it. We have to change it from within to make it a safe space. Fucking hate that word.
Change it to make as much money as possible. And they want to do that by going into sponsorships. They want to have creator partnerships, most likely with Twitch people or people on YouTube, stuff like that, probably Kick. They're wanting to do massive partnerships with the gaming industry, and most likely this is going to have a direct effect on how certain games are made. I mean, once again, I want to point this out that is very relevant to this conversation. Visa and MasterCard were contacted by Collective Shout back in July. And thanks to them being contacted, it caused Steam to remove hundreds upon hundreds of games, and then obviously it should remove thousands of games. And that's not even talking about the damage, not just to the brands of those two companies, but to the creators. And how so many games are just lost now, because they're adult games. This means that if Visa and MasterCard, with how arbitrary their rules are, and how they could just enforce them at any given whim, and even forcing Steam to add a new policy, this means that they're going directly to the source of games when they're being made and stopping games from being theoretically problematic. That's what they're pretty much doing. And
that's literally what it is. That's literally what they were talking about. What they're trying to do. That's literally what it is. And it's gonna start with gaming, and it's gonna move on to other things. It's gonna move on to movies. Well, movies are already fucked, but if movies try to get back on track, they're gonna move on to that, and it's gonna dive into streaming services, and eventually it'll move on to things like overseas. Like we saw what happened with Japan. They're gonna move on to other stuff too, because K-pops are very popular. South Korea content. They're gonna move on to that too. Watch.
Because they realize that if they try to censor it after it comes out, they get a lot of backlash, so to speak. For instance, we've seen what happened in the last month and a half. We had the whole thing with 4chan talking about the situation, calling the representatives a lot, spamming their phone lines. And obviously Visa, MasterCard, they don't like that. They don't want that. They don't want to deal with that. So what better way to get away with censoring content than actually being involved in the very creation of a game or any form of cultural content? Because if they're there at the ground zero inception of the content and funding the content, then obviously you might not hear about if it gets censored or not, because it was censored literally upon the cutting room floor. That is the problem here. What Visa is obviously doing is that they are doing this in a shady way at that, to be able to get away with censorship, because not a lot of people will be aware of what they're currently doing. I feel like a lot of people are not even aware that MasterCard was literally at a GamesBeat summit, which is insane. Why? Why is MasterCard involved so deeply? I know, deeply into gaming culture and trying to shape it and all that. It's just, we know it's for money, let's be honest. We also have this as well, their job summary, which more or less is the exact same thing, talking about what the job will entail, what you'll have to do, team building skills and stuff like that. But it's just, dude, you know how we can fight this? And I'm just going to be honest. There is only a few ways at this point that people really can fight this situation. The public obviously can keep talking about it, because if you don't talk about it, then Visa kind of gets away with it. That's what happens. They get away with it. The second thing people can do is obviously call their call centers. There is a reason why MasterCard made a public statement a month ago. It's because their call centers were getting spammed, thanks to 4chan and other people of the internet. I feel like that if you continue to call them, they will be forced to speak out about it. Because for those that are unaware, every call they get at their call center does charge them. Even if it's a few cents, that adds up. It adds up if there's hundreds upon hundreds of people, thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people calling them every single minute, every single day, it will add up money. And obviously these people that are very greedy and like money, they won't like that. They will want to figure out how to stop that. So, in a way, that is one way to fight. But what I think is really going to happen as this continues to boil, as more countries become aware of this and more people talk about it, I think that there's two likely outcomes. Either A, actually three likely outcomes. Either A, Visa, MasterCard payment processors get away with it. They win. That's obviously an option, a scenario I don't think anybody wants, besides Visa and MasterCard now. Scenario B, Steam, thanks to everything that's been going on, how public it's gotten, they back off, they allow the course of action to take place through creators. Creators band together, and they collectively sue Visa and MasterCard for what they've been doing. That's a possibility, what Steam is trying to open the door up for, allowing a certain amount of censorship for people will be pissed off enough to try to start a antitrust lawsuit, which that gets to the next one. Scenario C is the governments get involved, which is also likely but unlikely because a lot of these politicians and stuff are probably embedded with these card companies.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
if there is a significant amount of vocal outreach from the public, then someone might try to do an investigation and start an antitrust lawsuit against Visa and MasterCard and payment processors to break them apart because they're obvious monopolies that operate like a mafia. Like, an actual legal like mafia. That's pretty much how they're operating right now. So I think those are the potential outcomes, that the likely scenarios. There might be a scenario I'm completely unaware of, but it's just insane, man. I'm talking about this because I don't want Visa getting away with it.
And another option, like I said, is someone rich like Elon Musk doing his own payment processor. That's for the gamers. That allows gamers to buy what they want. Like I said, I feel like that's like another thing that should happen, because them getting in bed with this, like I said, it's probably going to affect Western gaming, but I'm really worried about gaming that's not in the West, like mainly Eastern gaming, because Eastern gaming has been dominating the market for the past couple of years. Like, look at the stuff they released. Elden Ring, freaking Stellar Blade, Black Myth Wukong, Marvel Rivals, Wu Chang, Fallen Feathers, and they have other stuff coming out soon too. So again, I really hope that I just hope that things turn around for the better, even though they might not. But you just gotta hope, gotta pray and hope and see what happens. Because like I said, it's just insane to me that companies like this have this much power and no one is checking them on it.
It's gross, man. It's actually gross how they are just so open about this. I want to thank Smash JT, by the way, for bringing this to my attention and everybody's attention. If it wasn't for him breaking the story first, I wouldn't have been aware of it. So I do appreciate Smash bringing this to everybody's attention. If it wasn't for him, I don't think I would have known about it, and many others wouldn't know about it now thanks to this video and him being able to mention it. But I will say, though, do not let these payment processors silence you. They want you to stop talking about this. They want you to give up. They want you to despair. They don't want you to even know about this situation. Don't let them silence you. Don't let them take away, freedom of expression and being able to express yourself within gaming and all that. Just because it's content you might disagree with, because it's like an icky adult game, doesn't mean that eventually that censorship won't reach you. And as I've already labeled and we've already seen through multiple different times now in the last month and a half, it doesn't just stop at the stuff you dislike. It will continue to roll until it hits the things you love dearly. So, like I said, continue speaking up about this because they don't want you to. I'll leave it at that, though. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe, leave a like.
Yeah, great video. I don't know, man. It's just insane to me that they are really, really trying so hard to have their own foot into production of gaming. And like I said, the fact that nobody is checking them on this is just insane to me. But I just don't know what's gonna happen. But we'll have to wait and see. But let's look at this next video. Before I move on to the next video, the next main thing I want to talk about, I do want to look at something really quick. So I was supposed to talk about this last time. I can't remember if I did. Let's take a look at this.
Call of Duty is coming to theaters. as Paramount Activision strike major film deal.
Remember,
boy.
Paramount did the Halo TV show, so keep that in mind.
We did.
Yep.
Yeah, this is going to be a disaster.
Now, which ones do you think they would try to adapt? Do you think they would do the Modern Warfare trilogy?
I don't think
It has to be.
Yeah, I mean,
I think we will
They
be
would
a
have to do the
random
old
war
one, though,
movie with the label Call of Duty.
Probably.
That's
Probably,
the worst
yeah.
case scenario that they would.
That would be.
I don't think
yeah.
it's gonna be tied to anything. I think it's gonna be his own bullshit.
That would be horrible. I think if they're gonna do this and they're gonna make a movie, if they want it to fucking work, you start off with Roach and Soap as the main characters, and and then you have Captain Price in there as well. But revolve the story around Soap.
Yeah.
That would be the
I will
best
say
case
this.
scenario.
If it's Paramount, one thing they could do, one person they have access to that could make this work
Don't you
is Taylor
fucking
Sheridan.
say. Okay, I thought you was gonna say Michael Bay or some shit.
Oh, fuck no.
So yeah, it looks like they're making a Call of Duty movie. It's coming out in theaters. I'm guessing that they're trying to make this like their next major franchise. So yeah, like you said, Paramount was the one that did the Halo TV series, which was a failure, and they spent a lot of money on that Halo TV series. Like I've seen the budgets for how much they spent on that. That was a really expensive TV series, but. Yeah, they did point out something interesting. That is it going to be Modern Warfare or Black Ops? I guess Modern Warfare would make sense, especially mainly because Modern Warfare 2 back in the day was like one of the most popular video games, back when I was like in middle school. So it would make sense to go through the Modern Warfare route. But like you said too, they could just do like some random war movie and call it Call of Duty, which I would not be surprised if they do that. But then again, not gonna lie, Paramount has been doing a good job. And the reason why I say I feel like they could do a good job with this is because how they did Sonic. Because we all saw the reveal for how Sonic looked. Because of the backlash, they actually listened to the fans and went back and revised it. Which was a good thing. Which was like really good for what they did. Call of Duty is a household name in the gaming community. Everyone knows what Call of Duty is. So I feel like they will listen to the fans in terms of like how to make this. I don't know why they don't like Michael. I feel like Michael Bay could do a decent job with this, but I'll say this: I feel like there should be writers who are writing like from the source material in terms of the structure of the movie and how the story's gonna go. And I feel like Michael Bay would do a good job in terms of like special effects and how it looks. I feel like he'll do a good job with that. If that's just a random scenario if Michael Bay were to be involved, but. I'm interested in how they do. I'm interested to see how they do this.
No, Taylor Sheridan. If you haven't watched
What's wrong with
Sicario,
Michael Bay?
Taylor Sheridan writing a Call of Duty piece. He could probably make it work if he's adapting like Modern Warfare or something like that. I would watch that with his name attached to it, but I doubt it. Like Beardo said, these are the fuckers that made the Halo TV show and still tried to ship that shit around to people. I don't have any hope for it. And also, dude, I don't know if you guys saw the new marketing for the Call of Duty, the next game. They're selling a point now where you can share your gun builds with your friends. They're like, yeah, you can. Yeah, it's literally just gonna be every
Is there a price
fucking
tag on it?
Yeah, that next game is one of the major reasons why a lot of these players are moving over to Battlefield. Battlefield has a really good chance to take all the Call of Duty fans, man. They just had to They just had to make sure they keep those fans around, meaning that the content that they give the fans has to be worth it. It has to be worth staying.
No, it's just part of the game. But
Okay.
what
So
it's
they're
going to
doing
be
the
now
same
is
thing
there's
that
a
Delta
code.
Force is doing.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, there's
Delta
a
Force
code.
does that.
And it's like, oh, cool, guys, look, this is the build that I use for my gun. Make sure to click that link and go over and check out my build for my guns and stuff.
That's
Dude,
fucking
like,
gay. That's
gay.
too many steps, man. Why don't you just say, share this with person in my party and just send it to them, and it automatically just it just applies to their class.
And also, just who cares? Like, why share gun builds? Like, just tell people. You just, like we used to do.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yes.
what are you using? Oh, I'm using this attachment. Oh, cool, man. I'll try it out. You know, but, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm terrified. I mean, because if you go back and play those first 3 Modern Warfare games, the campaigns are, like, actually kind of deep and pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
And you could adapt that very well into a film trilogy if you knew what you were doing. Like the operation, I think is Kingfish, that is from MW2 to MW3. It's fucking amazing. So it's like, you can do it if you know what to do, but I do not trust anyone.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing is like, that's the problem with these video game adaptations. There are so many incredible things that you could adapt to film from video games, and they're never gonna do it, and that's the whole problem.
Dude.
Like Halo, the fact that they fucked it up so bad.
Well, Halo should have been a movie, not a TV show.
Absolutely. Absolutely,
So-
but it could have worked as a TV show.
It could have.
It could have worked as a TV show. But the same thing, like I've mentioned before, like I personally think a Half-Life movie would be so fucking amazing, dude.
Half-Life movie.
Yeah.
Could you imagine, like, if they did, like, I mean, they're doing a movie, obviously, but could you imagine, like, a series with Call of Duty? We have multiple characters that you're following. You're following Soap, you're following Price, you're following this undercover agent, and then one episode is just called No Russian, and it's just that mission.
That'd be
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
That'd
You
be
have to, like,
awesome.
this guy you've been following and watching his career, and do like 4 or 5 episodes deep. You have to watch him pull off the No Russian mission, dude. Like,
Yeah, and
Dude,
then he dies at the end. It's fucking crazy. That would be
You could
amazing.
make a trilogy alone just off of the first Black Ops game.
yes,
Yeah,
That'd
absolutely.
be incredible.
Well,
just seeing
Bring back Sam
Mason-
Worthington and Ice Cube.
Just seeing like Mason just like his brain just rotting over like 3 movies and him just going absolutely psycho with fucking Viktor Reznov. Like you can make 3
Yeah,
movies out of that.
It's this idea that everything has to change.
yes.
And it's so dumb. Like Uncharted, I couldn't finish it. I tried the Uncharted movie. I just
yeah.
could not.
Yeah.
I couldn't even. And I went into this thinking, okay, I know the.
Me personally, I was never really interested in the Uncharted movie. I never really played the games like that. Plus, I was not a fan of the cast, so I think that's one of the main reasons why I wasn't interested in that movie.
Internet kind of like hates on Tom Holland. I really don't hate Tom Holland. I don't have anything against Tom Holland. I don't think he's like, I think he's all right, whatever.
It
you know
was
what I mean?
bad casting.
It was
That doesn't
bad
necessarily
casting,
mean
yeah.
the actor is bad.
Right. I went into this going, okay, I'm going to give this a shot because the Uncharted games are amazing. And
Yep.
I think I got like 30 minutes into it. I'm like, I would rather die. Like, I don't want to watch this. Like, I don't.
You had Mark Wahlberg in the movie, who should have been fucking Nathan Drake.
Yes.
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 Agreed.
Yes.
It's
To be
ridiculous.
honest,
freaking
Nathan
bad.
Fillion should have been Nathan Drake. But
Yes.
100%.
And if you haven't seen the fan film they did of that, it's amazing.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
good. It's very good.
Once again, fans know better than studios.
Dude, a talented writer could mix all of the Call of Duties together. Like they could mix Black Ops and Modern Warfare and make that a cohesive story if they knew what they were doing. I would watch the shit out of that.
Yep.
But no.
Sad reality is it's not going to happen. It's not going to be good.
Yeah, so pretty interesting that they're making a Call of Duty movie. They just got made the deal, so it's probably like it's not going to be in production for quite a while now. But we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Let's look at this video really quick. Actually, no. Let's move on. Yeah, let's move on to the next main topic.
Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So I promise I didn't wake up this morning wanting to be a hater, but the first thing I saw on social media was this post talking about a YouTube video recently uploaded by a channel called The Anime Men that has nearly 5 million subs on YouTube. And you can see the title, we ranked the...
So these people, the anime man, this is the perfect example of tourist. People who literally got into something because they see how popular it is. This is a perfect example of tourists right here.
The most popular anime from each year, 1961 to 2025, present day. And this video is terrible. I have to agree with the tweet here describing it. It might be one of the worst anime-related videos I have seen in a very long time. Basically, a bunch of guys on this channel go through all of these anime, including foundational anime that inspired the current industry that we have, and they throw them into the F tier. You have people in this video who literally admit they hated anime most of their life and then discovered anime as COVID weebs back in 2020, and now they're crapping on the most inspirational anime that literally made the industry what it is today. Now, before we get into some clips from that video, I have some good news to start off with. My code with Advanced GG has been bumped to 30% for the next 1 day, and it's explained because they focus a lot on shorts. Like a lot of other channels, they get a huge amount of their views and subs from their shorts. You can see some of the shorts with 4.7 million, 1.3 million, 3.2 million. That's where they get the majority of their traction. It doesn't really seem to translate over to their actual videos, because this one they uploaded about 2 days ago has 33,000, and as you can see, it has 1.3k likes versus 4.1k dislikes. Obviously, it's not going well, but it doesn't seem like a lot of the people who are subscribing for the shorts are transitioning over to the actual videos. And this video itself is atrocious for so many reasons. We're gonna watch various clips, but let's get the intro to their concept here and get the first two rankings of the anime they have reviewed, based on the first episode, by the way.
Today we're going through 100 years of anime history,
ranking the most popular anime from each year to decide once and for all
the best anime of the century. Me and Cade.
Me and Jeremy.
Hey, yo, it's Team Ethan Gianni, bro.
What's up, man?
Like, even the energy comes off as tourism. Like, you can tell these guys are tourists.
Let's go crazy!
That's a little too crazy.
Yeah, okay.
We're starting with this.
It's on YouTube and it's 35 seconds long.
Whoa!
That fight scene was cracked. That fight scene was cracked.
It was 30 seconds. It was about some sushi chef with like octopus arms. That anime is F tier.
This first one is Otogi Manga Calendar. There's honestly not too much going on here that grabs my attention besides some little tune playing in the background and a still frame of some character looking at a painting. It's not looking good so far for anime. This is going directly into the F tier category.
Now, this might just be me, but this sort of Mr. Beast-esque vibe with videos like this, I hate it. But anyways, you can see they keep putting these classic anime into the F tier, and that is a common theme for the 1960s and really anything before the year 2000 for them. They pretty much throw everything into the F tier, including some of the most inspirational and foundational anime that have ever...
Well, technically, I know that they're doing everything like before 2000, but for most of these anime tourists, they literally put anything before like the 2010s like so below the list. And besides series like, you know, like Death Note or Full Metal, you know, those type of series. But most of these series they'll put like below, like the 2010s they'll put like really low down. Like I said, and also the big three, if it's not the big three.
Existed, but you can see, even with a 30-second clip, they couldn't even pay attention. The one guy was literally staring at his phone. He couldn't make it through a 30-second clip before ranking it. And you see this sort of a cracked language. You know, it's some Zoomer terminology you see from like TikTok or whatever. That is,
and that's the problem with most of these people. Not just with them, but most people nowadays, they really have no attention span. Like, they really can't watch something that's longer than like a minute. That's the problem with most of these people nowadays.
It's a really big theme throughout all this. You have to understand the kind of people that are reviewing this on a channel with nearly 5 million subs. The one guy literally admits that he didn't like anime for most of his life and only became an anime fan during the pandemic. Like, you can't make stereotypes up like this.
As we have Death Note finally.
Death Note is so big.
I was saying with him. Death Note. I
hate people that eat while they're talking. I don't know why. I just find it to be really annoying.
I used to hate anime my whole entire life until 2020. The first actual anime episode I ever watched was the first episode of Death Note. It was so good. Absolute masterclass, masterpiece.
3,
2, 1. S tier!
So he literally just admitted he hated anime his whole life until COVID. Tourist. Fucking tourist.
This is the best episode we have watched by far.
It's actually kind of impressive how much of a stereotype for the COVID weeb this guy is. If you don't know what a COVID weeb is, by the way, it's someone...
Yeah, that guy literally is the stereotype. That is the perfect example of someone who got into anime during 2020. Like, that is a perfect example of a tourist.
Who only joined anime the second the pandemic started. So they never liked anime. In many cases like this guy, they hated anime up until 2020. Then the pandemic starts, they're stuck inside, and all of a sudden now they're trying out anime, and they like it to a degree, despite the fact that they spend all their time crapping on the medium, and in this case having no respect for tropes and the foundation that made the industry what it is today. And there's so many people like this. If you go to social media, Twitter in particular, there are COVID weebs all over the place. They are the most annoying people. They're the ones who want to basically play the role of a narcissist who just joins in on a fandom in a medium and wants it to now cater towards what they want. And they go around calling people buzzwords and crapping all over the medium and its fans who have been there much longer than them. And that's just the way COVID weebs are. So the fact that this guy just admitted to all of that is literally insane. And this is the guy going back and calling like foundational anime boring and a waste of time. It's crazy. And another petty thing here, can you please put down the food while you're recording a YouTube video? This is so petty and so specific to me. I don't know, maybe someone out there agrees with me.
This dude's eating like a plate of food while recording a video. Like, dude, put that shit down.
Maybe one person resonates in the comment section, but I absolutely hate when people are eating while recording a YouTube video. Like, just put it down. You had to talk for 10 seconds. Just put it down for the 10 seconds it takes to make the recording. But they put Death Note in the S tier, and that's, again, based on the first episode. And I will say, I really enjoyed Death Note. In fact, it's one of the, I would say, like, 5 anime I would recommend to someone who's just getting in.
I don't really do tier list like that. I just have, like, my personal favorites. Death Note, I enjoyed Death Note, but it went downhill for me after L died. That's when it went downhill for me. If I felt like the series ended like right there after L died, I would consider it like one of the best series of all time. It's like that for a lot of series. People feel like if a series ended like at a certain point, it would be considered as one of the best. Death Note is in that category. Like that whole Nier and that whole Nier shit was just stupid.
To the medium, but yeah, it's like they got a ball on a tee here and they still messed it up by admitting all these crazy things about being a COVID weeb. But it gets worse. This is their description of Lupin the Third, another classic anime, and listen to how they describe their level of respect for this anime.
Next anime we're watching is Lupin the Third.
Yeah, we recognize this character, and we're giving this anime a little bit more respect, so we're only going to put it at 1.5 times speed.
Lupin's girlfriend, I think, gets captured and starts...
Did you hear what this dude just said? This dude said that we're going to watch this series at 1.5 speed. Like, again, this goes to show you that these people like this do not have an attention span, man. Like, how can you watch something at 1.5 speed? Not even 1.25, 1.5 speed. I cannot be friends with people like this. If you literally have to watch something at 1.5 speed because you have that much of your attention span is just not there, then yeah, like there's something wrong with you.
Getting tortured by the bad guy, but before it goes any further, Lupin outsmarts the guy and saves the day until he's betrayed by his girl, but then ends up with her in the end. It's honestly very confusing, but as you can see, the foundations were laid and it leads to what it is today, and it's going in the D category.
Playing Lupin the Third on 1.5 speed because they respect the anime that much, that is the wildest thing I've ever seen. Like, people who are dopamine starved, they have no attention span, they have to play things in 1.5 speed just to make it through. That's crazy. Okay, like, if you have to do that for an anime, that is like a complete level of disrespect. But, they can't pay attention for 2 seconds. Did you watch the clip? they're either snacking or on their phone every waking moment. Like, what is wrong with these people? Do they need like Adderall or something?
And that's what I don't get. Like, you're on your phone while it's playing at 1.5 speed.
I don't understand how you cannot just sit there and pay attention. This is their content. It's watching and reviewing anime, and they can't even do that on regular speed, let alone without looking at their phone every 2 seconds. And then you're supposed to trust their judgment on how they rank these things. It's absolutely insane. But this next part is what really threw me for a loop. It's the level of disrespect. This is back at the beginning of the video when they're going through the 1960s, and they talk about two anime in particular, Astro Boy and Big X, and they absolutely clown on these two foundational anime. It actually will make you lose brain cells watching this stuff.
We are going to be watching. Our very first one is called Tetsuwan at.
I mean, just look at the ratio of the video. Like, this should tell you like, it says it all. Just the ratio of this video.
So, Tetsuwan Adam, let's go. It's on YouTube.
Yo.
Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry. My bad, guys. That was Astro Boy.
Oh.
That was Astro
Come
Boy.
on,
My
bro.
bad.
Oh.
Okay.
You pressed the wrong one.
Why is it Astro Boy?
Why is Tetsuwan Adam is Astro Boy?
Okay, like, I'm trying to take it seriously, but look at this Looney Tunes ass fall. He's abandoning his son, and then it's literally just like, it's like, come on! So, Astro Boy from 1963.
I give it an absolute bottom of the barrel F tier.
F tier, bottom of F tier.
Big Egg.
They put Astro Boy in F tier, guys. Astro Boy, one of the first foundational animes. An author turned one of the arcs in Astro Boy to arguably one of the best stories of all time. And they put that shit in F tier. And the story I'm talking about Pluto by Naoki Urasawa. He turned one of the arcs into his own story in Astro Boy, and it's a cult classic in the manga space. The anime came out last year, and it was highly underrated because not a lot of people talked about it. And they put Astro Boy in F tier. Fucking clowns.
Man, big stinky, bro.
Big stinky, bro.
And like, you're telling me to watch this?
I'm actually upset that I watched it.
But it was just beyond bad. Like, this anime shouldn't have been made, bro.
Like, brother, TikTok is down the hall and to the right. I cannot believe the level of disrespect. Not just throwing these in the F and D tiers. They basically do that for the entire decade of the 1960s. But the disrespect is insane. To say that Astro Boy is the bottom of the barrel of the F tier. They put it in the deep garbanzo tier. How on earth can you do that? Like, you don't have to look at Astro Boy and say this is the peak of animation. We get it. It's from the 1960s. Like, it's not going to look like anime we see today. They just didn't have the technology at the time. But still, you can respect what it did for the medium. And in this case, it was really the first animated TV series that had mainstream high levels of success in Japan. In fact, it was the first anime to premiere in the United States. You know what? Honestly, looking back at it, that was a mistake. They should not have introduced anime to the West. Big mistake. We have abused it. We have ruined the medium. And look at the people like ranking the classics, the most inspirational anime of all time, throwing them in the bottom of the F tier. Absolutely insane. And then referring to Big X, the one COVID weeb says he was upset that he watched it, that he wasted his time, and that it shouldn't have ever been made.
If it was never made, you wouldn't have the series that you love now. Like, seriously. It's amazing to me how these people gain such a following, but how they treat the medium is just so disrespectful.
I got nothing, but apparently this guy's got more to say about icky themes and tropes in a different series he was watching.
Guys, I'm sorry. No. Guys, it only gets worse! It only gets worse every single time. I don't want to watch it. I'm getting scared. Look at this.
It's about like this high school girl, bro. She gets charmed up by this like dude. This dude definitely is older, bro.
This dude looks like he's 35 with 4 kids.
Dude,
He's like
this girl just started high school.
This is the main reason why I keep on saying we need to gatekeep anime. This is why I keep saying this. Because you have people like this coming into the space and just ruining it for everyone else. These are people like whenever like we love something about a series, these are the type of people that will comment and quote tweet us saying that like you guys are weird. How can you guys watch stuff like this? Like these are the type of fans. These are the type of anime fans that are in our space right now.
Cool, bro. No.
Look, that's me and Kate right there. All the Hus are looking for us. Look at this.
They're just very pretty guys, but they're
very
just girls.
pretty guys.
So I just don't understand what the concept was, and
It's to watch, dear brother.
You know what? I'm gonna say it. We all owe the anime man an apology. Don't mix this guy up with the anime men. Joey's had some takes on his channel, or
so this guy, I believe I've seen him before a while ago. I watched his videos like back in the day a while ago. He does appear on the trash take podcast a couple of times. Yeah, like these guys are he's not even on their level. Like, cause I never really understand why people hated some of his takes, but them, like these guys are insufferable. These guys are freaking insufferable.
or with the Trash Taste podcast that have gotten a lot of criticism on social media, particularly his anime-related takes. And you know what? I take him 100 times out of 100 over these guys. It's not even close. Like, I think we owe him a bit of an apology. Like, you know what? We didn't realize how good we had it with this guy. Like, this is absolutely crazy. You can see these guys virtue signaling about fictional content, going through and talk about, like, the older dude, he looks 35. Like, this is very Hassan Piker coded, right? Like, trying to act like someone who's 35 is, like, so ancient, it's actually hard to believe. Like, no, dude, like, that's probably the average age of an anime fan. You're, like, freaking out over someone being 35, let alone a fictional character where this guy is whining about fictional characters. Like, dude, you're in the wrong medium. And also, they praise other series that are, like, way more deep into these things they think are problematic, but they glaze those up because they're more recently created, I guess. But, yeah, totally ridiculous. And then he said something at the end. I don't think there's a translator in the world that could really break apart what he actually said. I have no clue. But at the end of the day, these guys are what? Tourists. And this clip about Dragon Ball just really slams that one home, okay? These guys are tourists. Not only do they have no respect for anything that came even a few decades ago, but they don't know anything about something as basic as Dragon Ball.
Alright, Ethan, you know what time it is?
Dragon Ball time!
Dragon Ball time.
Dragon Ball. I don't want anyone attacking me for what I'm about to say, but what the hell did I just watch? Goku with a tail. I've never seen that before. Goku.
Yeah, as soon as you say that, you're a tourist, dude. You are a tourist. And I'm just gonna be honest, most of these Dragon Ball fans, like especially getting into Dragon Ball now, a lot of them have not watched the original Dragon Ball. They just jump in straight to Z. Straight up tourist, the fact that he just said that.
With his, you just gotta watch the anime to find out, but Nirvana cover. And Bulma trying to the 10-year-olds? Are you serious? It's honestly not a very good start to the anime. This is going straight into the D tier.
Yeah, why does Goku have a tail? Certified tourist moment. Certified tourist moment. Like, I'm not even like the biggest Dragon Ball fan of all time, but like, dude, are you serious? Did you really just say that on a channel with nearly 5 million subs, a channel that's dedicated to anime? Like, that is posting your own L's at that point. But it kind of reminds me of a lot of other people on social media, the COVID weebs, who, they use the Dragon Ball memes to try to call people like predators over fictional content, not realizing like the early seasons of Dragon Ball had plenty of Lolicon and Shotokan themes, and they're just showing, again, how much of a tourist they are. But, more whining about fictional content. seems to be a present theme with these people, virtue signaling about it, but there's a couple other things I want to talk about in regards to this video, but I'm going to do kind of generally. We're not going to watch any more clips. I think you guys get the points. They really have a weird relationship with Mecha. You can see they gave Macross a F tier ranking, which is one of the inspirations behind Gurren Lagann, which they gave an A tier. Like, make it make sense, man. This is crazy. Actually crazy. At the end of the day, all this stuff is objective, right? Or subjective, right? There's no right or wrong answer or right or wrong ranking of something like an anime review. But this stuff...
And I agree, people's entitled to their own opinions, but I'm just going to be honest, some people just need to stop talking. Like, I'm just being real honest. Like, sometimes it just makes no sense.
Is crazy. I think the average anime fan with pretty much any experience looks at this and they're just like scratching their heads. Or in some cases are probably like punching their desk or something. It's crazy. They also gave Toradora a C tier. You know what? I'll play one more clip. I lied. Okay, one more clip.
Guys, me and Jeremy are at the point where we've already seen so many and we just want something new.
And this is exactly not it.
And when we get something like Toradora, keep in mind, we're only 15 minutes in.
And in my opinion, hold on, I think it shows
yeah, I feel like we've seen.
So in my opinion, this is just my personal opinion. I feel like a lot of these new gen anime fans, not just new gen, like some of these old fans are a part of it too. A lot of them just want pure action when it comes to anime. And that's my problem with like shonen nowadays. Like, cause shonen now, for some reason, every episode, and almost every single episode in shonen, there always has to be a fight. Back in the day, during the shonen era, fights were built up. Like, there was a build up. Like, we knew that it was eventually going to happen. And when it happened, it was worth the wait. Now it's just like there's no build up. There's just a fight. Like every episode there has to be a fight. The character has to be doing something cool or farming. You have series like Soul Leveling, Sakamoto Days. That just shows that anime now just has to like showcase fights, flashy animation, and it looks like that's what these guys are into. They just love flashy animation. Because the fact that they put Toradora, like one of my favorite series, in C tier is just insane. Toradora is an amazing story.
Seen so many romance and slice of lives that are kind of exactly the same.
Because of that, we'll be putting it in
C tier.
Personally speaking, if you give Toradora a C tier or fall asleep while watching it, you should be deported. I think that is a fair response to that. I think there should be some punishment for giving Toradora a C tier. That absolutely racks my mind. That is crazy work to give that a C tier while giving something like Naruto S tier. What are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? It's absolutely crazy.
Me personally, I don't even give Naruto S tier. I put it like maybe like A. Like the reason why I do that is because of the war arc. Because like I said, the war arc kind of like put the series down for me. Because from the beginning to the pain arc, Naruto to me was an amazing series. War arc just like, don't get me wrong, there was some parts that were cool from the war arc, but overall, like I said, I was not a fan of the reanimation, jutsu and stuff. Not a fan of the reanimation. Obito, Madara basically being puppets for Black Zetsu, the Kaguya thing, like, yeah. And there was just certain aspects that just made no sense during the war arc too, so.
But let's wrap this video up. Here is their actual tier list. This is the finalized result. You can...
So, I can't really, hold on. I'm trying to zoom in here. Let's see. So, S tier. Of course they got JJK in there. I guess Tokyo Ghoul, Attack on Titan, Death Note, Naruto. I think that's Guts, so it's Berserk. Not sure what this is. I can't really see that. So that's S tier. A tier, they got, I think that's Free Ren right there. Chainsaw Man, Black Clover. Can't really tell what that is. Hunter x Hunter, Fairy Tail, Gurren Lagann. Damn, I really cannot see. That looks like Full Metal. One Piece, Cowboy Bebop. Can't see that one either. Can't see this one either. What is that? B tier, Fist of the North Star, around the 1/2. That looks like Demon Slayer. I think that's I forgot the name of this. I know what this is. I forgot the name. I'm surprised they put soul leveling that low. I'm surprised they put this series that low, because usually for guys like this, they would put it like either A or S tier. I'm trying to see what series they put. Oh, so they put. I mean, it's not. This list is not as bad as I thought it was. They put Angel Beats D tier. Nah, that's insane. They put Angel Beats D tier, and they put Dragon Ball and Inuyasha down here. What else is down here? This list is retarded. They put what? They put this in C tier? They put Dororo in C tier? Get the fuck out of here. Hinomiya, yeah, that's what this is. Hinomiya. Damn, I wish I can't really see what those other ones are. I'm going to like go on Twitter and see what they are, but yeah. It's not as bad as I thought it was, but some of the stuff on here is it makes no fucking sense.
See a lot of head scratchers like Inuyasha being in the D tier, Angel Beats being in the D tier, One Punch Man being in the C tier, basically the entire F tier just being old anime.
And I forgot they put One Punch Man down here. They probably put it down there because of season 2. That's probably why they put it down there. I guarantee you, because of season 2, that's why they put it down there.
Because apparently old equals bad. And then all of the S tier, except for maybe 2 exceptions, is all stuff from the last decade or 2. That's pretty much what's going on with this video. I think there's an obvious pattern here. And the comments section is brutal. Let's read a couple. This one's saying, called the anime men. Don't like anime. Yeah, don't mess with us anime fans, us COVID weebs. We hate anime. The next one says, one of the biggest anti-tubers turning out to be nothing more than a tourist. How am I not surprised? Not at all. Consistently demonstrating that all anti-tubers do not like anime. True. Named the anime men. Asks why Goku has a tail. And then you can see some of the rankings people are calling out. Used to hate anime my whole life.
Like, this is insane. Oh, yeah, that was Devilman. Even they put Even. Wow. Yeah, man, bro. This is what I'm saying. Like, we need to keep tourists away from the things we like. We need to keep these tourists away from our communities, man. Because this is just insane. But, like, this dude literally started off the video by saying, I hated anime my whole life until 2020, man. Tourists. Pure tourists. Man. But I think I'm going to end the stream there. Wanted to talk about the things I had on my mind today. Probably talk about the rest of these things another day. Thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good night. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and to my social media links there in the description. And I'll see you guys next time. This is the Wave Blur, and I'm signing out.